Okay, well, let's talk about the afterlife then, shall we?
What's there to talk about on the afterlife?
Oh, there's tons.
We die, we become a new people.
Are you sure?
Or
So
animals.
what do you think happens when you die then? Tell me.
Okay, I believe when we die, we'll become something else before we live another life. Okay, so there's two transitions. There's one transition period.
God, that is so specific. Okay. Do tell.
So when we die, we enter a phase of, oh, what's happened? Why am I flying?
Why are you flying? Like, based on your story, aren't you supposed to take the car or the airplane?
No, in my stories, I'm flying. Because that's my imagination and how my mind tells stories.
Okay.
I'm flying before it's a transit. Remember when there was no direct flights from Vietnam to the UK? You have to transit through Qatar or somewhere, Paris or something like that. It's a transit. So in my mind, there's no direct way to heaven. You have to transit through this phase in the middle, and then I go to my different life. It can be a different human, different gender, or it can be an animal. That's it. That's my understanding. And I'm not even animal. I can be a bacteria.
Okay. I get it. So you're going to be some sort of entity, right? Some living creature.
Living creature.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. But I want to really hone down on this transit thing. What the hell is this transit thing? Why is it significant, and why does it have to be a transit?
Because I think it must be movies that's influencing me. When you suddenly, the moment after you die, I don't know why, but I believe that you wake up, your soul escapes from your body, your family mourns for you, and you have a transit period to see them one last time before you become someone else or something else.
Oh, right. So when you say transit here, it's more of you're still lingering on in the world that you're living in.
Yes.
To cherish the final moments. Well, it can be cherished, but if you die at a painful death, then to just take in the final sort of minutes or however long the bloody transit is.
Yeah.
Before you move on to something new.
That's it. And it makes sense, right? Either to learn from it,
yeah,
or either to cherish it if it's happy, or to learn from it if it's a mistake. And
so there's no
what?
There's no sort of 6 p.m. meeting with God. You just move on immediately with life, like to a new life.
Yes, in my head, in my stories that I believe, no.
But you've always been talking to God, praying to God, but then when you die, you don't meet God.
No, he cannot be met. To me, he cannot be met. He's just a mailbox. the supernatural, we cannot see it.
But then you just move on to the next life.
That's it. Move on to whatever planned for me. Can be according to karma. I don't believe in karma.
Okay, calm down. You're jumping topics. We're going to talk about karma, but okay. So do you think a lot of people think this way? And that's why, unfortunately, there are some people suffering from depression, some people who are suffering from just things that they're not happy and content about life at the moment, that they think the best way to do it is to just end their life because they're going to have the opportunity to go to the next afterlife. What do you think?
I think that's the main reason. Very interesting way of looking at it. And I think it's the main motivator of suicide, because they believe that there's something else. They believe they can restart.
Mm-hmm.
If they just end their life, I can be a new entity, new creature.
Okay, fascinating.
Yeah. How about you? What were we talking about before this suicide thing?
Afterlife.
Yes, how about you? What's your view on this?
I would like to say that I don't think there is an afterlife. Because I'm in the school of thought of if it's not proven, then it's not real. But then no one can prove it because the people who can prove it are the dead people.
Yeah.
So I would like to think that there is no afterlife at all. And that is very contradictory to why I pray. But once again, I have already told you the rationale for why I pray is because I want my kids to continue on to think of their grandparents, to have that connection, to have that link so that they can live and be good, decent human beings. And so I don't think there's an afterlife. Once we die, we're gone. Done. Finished. Pew! That's it. And that's also a motivation for me to live the best life ever, because it's not going to come back again.
Yeah.
So it's very much a motivation for me to make sure that I live a good life. But yeah, I just don't think there's an afterlife. Like, what do you do in an afterlife?
Anything that.
No, but what do you... Okay, so tell me this, okay? If you're saying that our grandparents passed away, shouldn't they be occupied in the afterlife now, rather than just coming back home and eating food? Do you get where I'm coming from? Like,
yes.
At the moment, we're in this weird state where we believe two things, but the two things are quite contradictory. One thing is, when you die, you become someone else. But if you've already become someone else, then why are you still here to help, to look over their grandsons and granddaughters? I don't get it.
Yeah. It must be two different streams of belief. Buddhism is about reincarnation, but grandparents and whatnot is a different. I don't think it's a Buddhism thing.
You sure?
I think so. The school of thought of Buddhism is reincarnation. That's fine. There's no ghost. They just go. Boom. Done. The school of thought of non-reincarnation, people linger around for a few days, I don't know, before they move on to another world, the heaven world. So they don't roam around here. They go there straight. And when we call for them, they will come back to have a meal with us. When you pray and say, please, grandparents, look over us, we're saying you are at the next level, penthouse. You are at penthouse. We are on the ground floor. You just look over. That's it. You are very high. You're not in the same area like us. You're very high, different world. That's it. That's my explanation.
But then wouldn't that be a very overpopulated world that they're living in?
But it's not a world that I have to be frank here. It's not a world we care, because it's not our world. We just have that in our heads and we stop thinking about it. Done. Oh, they are in a different world. I can't sleep.
So what's stopping the dinosaurs from looking over you? Or people who hate you, but they've already died, they can look over you. What do you mean by look over?
It's just comfort, like someone is watching over.
Yeah, what if the bad people hate you and they die, and then they start looking over you and giving you negative vibes and bad luck?
That's when we ask our grandparents to stop those people, because you're in the same world with them.
So up there, they're having a war. They're fighting each other, taking out their saucepan and taking out their chairs.
It could be. So these are all stories we tell themselves.